So my story starts with when I was a teenager and had a pretty rough time. My parents had split up, and I had no relationship with my dad, and I was still had to do split custody, so 1 week here, 1 week there, and then I finally won, and my dad dropped me completely when I was 15, which was heartbreaking at the time, obviously, but then you look at it and you look at how, well, he never let me have friends over. He didn't let me go over to my friends' houses. He didn't drive me to dance class. He didn't want me to model. He didn't want me to get a job, but wouldn't give me an allowance. And then when I did get a job, he would make me walk like 20 kilometers just to get to my shift. So now I'm glad that he dropped me. But part of it is that I also lost that side of the family, which really sucked because they're Dutch, and my Dutch heritage is so cool to me, so I was really disappointed. And they all just went along with it. All my aunts and my uncles and my cousins, they were all like, oh, okay, well, we'll just stick with the dad and not even ask questions. He told them I was on the streets, doing drugs, being stupid, and obviously that's never happened. But one good thing to come out of it was my grandmother. She didn't believe him for a hot second, and this is this little 4'8" Dutch woman with a very strong accent, but can't hear anybody else, just talking over everybody, just screaming at him in Dutch that no one else can understand. So that was pretty great to hear because I think he deserved that. So I'm just using notes because otherwise I'll jump all over the place. I think my final straw with Tim, my dad, was one Christmas. My mom was at work, and so I had to be with him. And my breaking point was our gifts. So I'm not a materialistic person, like at all. And neither is my brother. And my brother wanted to be a pilot. So Tim got him flying lessons. So I was super pumped to see what my present would be. And it ended up being the third movie in a series that I didn't even like. And that was it. I couldn't believe just the ignorance. So I called my mom, who came straight home. I walked to her house. It was like 1.5 kilometers, 2 kilometers. Walked straight there. I had packed my bag and I never went back. And thank God. Let me see. Turn pages. But then, now we look at my mom, who's the complete opposite. So supportive and so loving and so strong that without her, I might be on the streets, to be honest, just from being poor, not from bad choices. She's the reason I was able to go to post-secondary. I went to post-secondary for paramedic, and it is so damn hard. I called my mom every single day crying because I hated it. Loved it, but hated it, and I couldn't believe it. And I went in Sudbury, so I was like 7 hours away. And she would still do such selfless acts. Like, she would surprise me on Easter. She like followed the bus home back to my house and knocked on the door wearing these cute little Easter bunny ears from the dollar store. And which just makes you bawl at the sight. Because of her, I'm also now in pageants. So I do the Miss World Canada pageant. This is my 2nd year doing it, and as soon as I mentioned just having interest in it, she was like, okay, what do we do? It wasn't like, are you sure? Like, pageants, you know, the stereotype, plus like you, like whatever. But no, she was totally down for it. She took me to these really great shops to find some gowns. She's been there at every single show. She was there at provincials and nationals, and then this year's provincials, oh no, you weren't this year. Oh yes, you were. She almost wasn't, but then she was. And then she'll be with me at nationals as well. So then we get into the happier side of where I am right now, which is the pageant world, which is the best thing I could have possibly hoped for in my life. The type of friends that you meet there are completely different from anywhere else because they do their own kind of networking. All of us have similar stories that are coming from broken homes, that are coming from no support, that are now coming to this place that is overflowing with support. And all these girls are genuinely nice and smart and kind, and everybody is friends. It's hard to have 50 friends, but you have a week long, so you better like everybody. The pageants also give me major experiences. I met Moses Znaimer, who is very, very well known in the TV world to create cable as we know it now. There's like this famous saying that the two most important people in television is Oprah in front of the camera and Moses Znaimer behind it. So I got to go to him and see his museum. He has a TV museum full of, like, he has the Jetsons TV, but like a real life one. He has Marilyn Monroe's, he has Elvis's old TV, like super cool, super great guy. He told me to hit him up anytime. I also met an amazingly powerful woman, Dragana Maznik, who, if you've ever seen Devil Wears Prada, she's basically the devil, but still respected, just like Meryl Streep is in that role. She was actually asked personally to come and work in New York and Milan to work with really high fashion designers because she was an architect and architects can be used in fashion. And she turned down every single person who wouldn't even use an assistant. They would literally call her personally, and she would be like, nah, that's okay, I'm gonna build Toronto's tallest skyscraper. And same thing with her. She told us that if we ever needed anything, or we're in Toronto and just wanted to say hi, we could drop off a resume, we could come by and have lunch, you know, anything like that. So these kinds of people are just incredible. Part of being in the pageant is having a beauty with a purpose or a platform. My platform is women in leadership roles, because with a study done in 60 countries and 2,000 companies, less than 1.5% of CEOs are female. So that's crap. Yeah, right? So that's my mission. So I've created my own company called One Step Ahead Girls, which covers everything from self-defense classes to tutoring classes to entrepreneurship to building your own business using social media. And I have just volunteers speak, and then it's a very affordable, it's like $5 or $10 per class, and all the money goes to the Children's Make-A-Wish, which is also the fundraiser that I do with the pageant. So I help those girls, and then if I win Miss World Canada, you get like a scholarship, like they like give you like about 10 or 12,000, and when I win, I'm using it to create a scholarship specifically directed towards young women going into male-dominated fields. I just have a little fact here that's my favorite because it's always mind-blowing. Women are 51% of the population, but 70% of the poor and 83% of single parents, doing 66% of the work. They produce 50% of the food, only earn 11% of the pay, own 1% of the land, and only occupy 0.5% of recorded history. So, that's also crap. So basically what it comes down to is, I couldn't believe that 10 years ago, when I was 15, my life had no support other than my mom, and I had no idea where I was going to go. In high school I wanted to be a fashion designer, and then now I have paramedicine training, and I'm Miss Quinte World 2020 and hopefully going to be Miss Canada World 2020. Thank you very much.